as in ethnic people or brown people, I would say, when we get out of the shadow of trying to appease to other races to feel adequate, then we can get back to what makes us feel good about one another. So one thing I do love about Damon Williams is he's like, okay, cool. We got to wait so long on the waiting list, or like some fucking chitlin circuit sometimes just to get into other people. And when I say other people, I don't mean just white. Just people of higher power who, because sometimes even we get in higher positions and feel like, you know what, peasants. You get what I'm saying? So Damon has a way of saying, you know what, I'm going to be a brown brother who's going to let other, not just brown people, because he's let so many people, even when I done his comedy club, it was so many people from different walks of life, white, black, you know, indifferent, gay, straight, undecided, who cares, at the comedy club. So, and not just at the comedy club, working, you know, different jobs as comics, bartenders, etc. Everyone had a role, an important role. So one thing I love about Damon is he kind of reminds me of Tyler Perry, like in a, on a smaller scale. It's like, you know what, instead of waiting to go to Hollywood, I'm going to give you Black Hollywood. So instead of waiting to go in, you know, coon at someone else's comedy club, come on and do it at mine, and I'm going to pay you what you're worth. When I done Damon's club, he gave me 3 shows. We sold out 2. And I never even really tell my business, but my door deal and stuff with him was so just, Darren, we're going to pay you what you deserve, more so than we're trying to break even. It was more so of, we want to put on a good show. So how can we accommodate you? So I appreciated him for that, from one brother to another, because you would think that it's just other races that treats us some type of way when we get to a certain stature in our career. But it's not just other races, sometimes it's us. So to get that warm, that feeling of like Damon is like a big brother, just like an uncle to me, I felt that way. And you know what was so crazy? He wasn't even at the comedy club when I got there. He had his workers there, so they were, you know, a lot of times, like when people say, you know what, even when I'm not around, you speak for me. His workers at the club, like, they were professionals, the comics, I mean, everything was it was one of the only, and I say one of the only, and comedy clubs I've been to where everybody was just like, you know, just like on the same accord, because I've been in some places too where everything was like, you had to figure out what the fuck was going on next. But I've been in more comedy clubs than none, that everything was just good. But I was just so happy to see that Damon, being a Black guy in that position of power, was taking it to the level of professionalism that he did. And I respected it, yeah. I was in New Jersey. I was one of the comics that's been blessed to do the Atlantic City, oh my God, I can't even think of the name of it now, but it's where they have all the acts like Mariah Carey and all this stuff coming. So I've done that. And one of the comics at the show in New Jersey, he had opened up for me. He was actually the host, and he said some off the wall shit that almost got him into a big fight. And I still had to go on stage after the fight and stuff had simmered down. It was like, it was so weird. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? Because comedy now, you know, we live in a very sensitive world in 2020. Well, actually, this was 2018. We've been living in a sensitive world since the internet, I would like to say, because now people feel like if you're saying anything that you're shaming, your sexuality shaming, your body shaming, your race shaming. It's like, no, I'm not saying this. I'm just telling you what the fuck I see. And that's comedy. And it's like even comics are being censored. So what the comics said, was it a bit much? Yeah, but was it in the spirit of comedy? You know, if you come to a comedy club, what the fuck you gonna hear? Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is he could have probably got us all. We were in New Jersey. New Jersey is not to be fucked with. I mean, like I said, I lived in Baltimore a great deal of my life. So these cities are not to be like fucked with. Like, you know, you live in Chicago. Would you get on stage in Chicago and say certain things? Attaboy. No, you won't. So, like, it was that. So now, like, when I go on stage, this is just for every crowd, I be telling my comics, look, what you say is what the fuck you say. So that means when they get up after this show and they whoop your ass, don't say Darren. Okay, because Darren is gonna collect his check and get that. You know, I'm at the hotel. I know I have time, but I didn't come for all of that. I'm trying to come back to the city. I get money in the city. I'm funny in the city. And that's just that. But that's one of my bigger stories. Other than that, there's been some wild, like creepy stories. I've had like people who try to follow me back to my hotel type. It's weird. It's weird. And not, you know, couples. All sorts of shit. Freaky couples after the show, like me and my husband, and it was like, oh, what the fuck? And you know, it's weird stuff, and you just gotta smile and take a picture while they're rubbing your shoulders and stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't need. I'm not tense, like, you know. But it's all of that. But it's all in the name of love. You know, people come out because you make them feel some type of way, and some of them are more expressive than none, in all aspects of life, in all departments, and I've enjoyed it. But my crazier stories, some have been just too explicit, probably for this interviews. We have to talk off the camera, man. And like, yeah.